In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can build this super simple, easy, and in my opinion, the most efficient mousetrap. This is much better than the cheap disposable ones, and it costs roughly $10 to make. If you guys are anything like me, and you've tried to use mousetraps before, these wooden mousetraps, they just aren't great. They're hard to set up. They constantly release as you're trying to set them up. They break easily, and then sometimes when you do set them up, they trap on your finger just like that. To build this mousetrap, all that you need is a bucket. I'm using a 1 gallon bucket. You could also use a taller 5 gallon bucket. We're gonna need a drill as well as a drill bit. A Gatorade bottle works perfectly. You need a bottle that can fit inside of your bucket, and then a couple small zip ties and a paint stir stick. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bucket. This handle can easily pull out. So if you just grab onto the side, you can pull the handle right out. And then what I like to do is straighten this out so it's no longer bent. Just like that. And you may need to use the pliers just to bend these ends. You just need to bend the ends enough that you can get this plastic piece off. So just like that, we have the handle from the bucket. We're going to use this later on in the build. Next, we need a drill bit. So you want to get a drill bit that is bigger than the actual piece of metal here for the handle. So my drill bit is a little bit bigger, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick this into our drill. So we are going to drill a hole in the bucket just above where the handle was. So we've got that hole drilled out so that this metal bar can fit inside. Now that we've got that hole drilled, we just want to make sure that our handle can fit inside. As you can see, it fits inside perfectly. So we are now going to take the bucket, rotate it to the other side, and we're going to drill a hole in directly across from the first hole. So as you can see, this handle is able to go through the bucket. Now we're going to take our Gatorade bottle, and we essentially want to do the same thing. We want to drill a hole through the lid. So right through the middle of the lid, we've got our hole drilled through the middle of the lid. Flip it over, drill a hole through the bottom of the Gatorade bottle. So now the idea is this handle should go right through this Gatorade bottle, and it should be able to spin on there, just like that. So what we want to do is we want to put the handle through the bucket so the Gatorade bottle is on the middle and that it's able to spin. So we'll put the handle through the first side, put it through the bottle, line it up so it's right through the bottle, and just like that, we have our bottle that's able to spin. So what I like to do is I leave this handle slightly bent over so that it can go on one end like so. And then if you fold it over, it's not going anywhere and it's able to move. If you don't have a handle, you can do the exact same thing with an old clothes hanger. So you could use a metal clothes hanger as your bar in case you have a bucket that doesn't have a handle. Here's a closer up. So as you can see, the handle has a bend in, so it's stuck on the edge there. We went through the bucket, through the bottle can spin. And then the excess handle, I just fold it over on itself. The next thing that we want to do is take our paint stir stick, and we're going to use this to make a ramp. So it's going to sit on the excess handle and create a ramp so that the mice can run up. The way I like to attach this is to drill 2 holes in the top, and then using our zip ties, we'll just zip tie this to the handle. This can be a little difficult, but it doesn't need to be pretty. Just make sure that the stir stick is secured to the handle. We can cut off the excess of those zip ties. So just like that, we have a ramp that mice can run up, and then they step on this Gatorade bottle, and once they're on the bottle, it spins and the mice fall down into the bucket. The next thing that we want to do is we want to be able to bait mice to come up here. Mice love peanut butter. Other things like sunflower seeds work, but I find peanut butter is the easiest thing. So I'm going to take some peanut butter and smear it onto this Gatorade bottle. I'm going to use my peanut butter, take a big scoop, and I am going to smear this all over this bottle. I prefer to put the majority of the peanut butter in the middle. This makes the mice come towards the middle of the bottle. Make sure that you get all the sides just like that. We have our bait being peanut butter. So as you can see, I just used standard peanut butter, and I took it, smeared it on that Gatorade bottle. So that's going to attract mice to come up this ramp. They're going to step onto the bottle, which will spin. The mice will fall into the bucket. I'm going to demonstrate how this works using a little tiger figurine, a little tiger toy. So pretending this is a mouse, they come over to the ramp. They're able to climb up this ramp, and then they smell the peanut butter on this Gatorade bottle, which makes them step onto the bottle. Once they put the weight on it, the bottle spins and the mouse falls inside of that bucket. Now, what some people like to do, they fill the inside of the bucket with about 3 inches of water. That way when the mice come up, they fall off and they fall into water that's deeper than the mouse is tall, which would essentially kill the mouse. If you don't want to kill the mice, you can leave the bucket empty. They'll fall in there and they should not be able to climb back up. If you are worried, you can always use the taller 5-gallon bucket, and that way the mice won't be able to climb back up. All right guys, so I've got the mouse trap set up. We're up here at our property up north, which is a 3-season place. So in the winter we shut it down. So I want to make a mouse trap that I can leave for like a month at a time. So what I've got here is some water. I'm going to add about 3 inches of water to this bucket. And then since there's no heat in this property, which would be the same as a garage, a shed, we want to prevent this water from freezing. So you can buy plumbing antifreeze. I'm just using windshield washer fluid. This is rated to -45. So I'm going to do about a 50-50 mix with water. And then that means this will only be rated to about -20, but it should not get colder than that inside here. You can see we've got a good amount of water in there. So I'm going to go down into our crawl space, because the crawl space is where we get rodents if we get any. So I'm just going to take the bucket, set it up down here, and then we'll have an active mouse trap that will last the whole season. Just like that, we're all finished. This roughly costs less than $10 to make, and it's really quick and easy. I hope you found this video helpful. This is a really cheap, easy mouse trap that's easy to build. It's way more efficient than these single-use traps that are always breaking or snapping on your finger. So I hope you found it helpful, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Thanks a lot, guys.